Hi, welcome to Daddy Kirk's Farm. We're doing another episode in the kitchen. It's about 32 degrees out today, and I don't really like being in it. We're in the Thrifty Farmer's Wife kitchen today, and I want to talk to you about two things. One is the apple cider vinegar that I have been experimenting with. It's been kind of fun going through it. I didn't do a how-to because I was completely not confident with how I was going to do it. So I just kind of found some different recipes online, found some general consistencies between those recipes, and I came up with something that I thought might work. And so far I think it has. And this is what I did back in January 1/14 of 15. I put 1 quart of apple mash, 2 cups of sugar, and a total volume of 3 cups of water. And I didn't know anything about what I was doing, so I just put the apples in the blender. And let me tell you about the apples. These were just store-bought apples. I don't have any apples from my own orchard right now, but we ended up with cores and peelings. This is what ended up being in the apple mash. The apples themselves were cut and set aside and used in apple pie, which I love. My wife makes a great sugar-free whole wheat apple pie that's a little better for me than otherwise. So I'm going to go ahead and take this today. Also, I wrote a little note on here on 1/25 of 15. I did strain the biggest stuff out. I thought I had a mother, which is the that mass that organic apple cider vinegar buyers really like to see in the vinegar. I just thought for sure I had one, but I think she left. It's gone. So I'm just going to strain this out into this container, and then we're going to put it into the bottles just to see what it looks like. I'm pretty sure it smells great. It smells like vinegar, but it has a nice apple smell to it. So I think this batch is about as far as it's going to go, and we're going to call it done. I'm gonna maybe tweak this recipe a little bit and do another batch later. But I need some help. Luke, can you come over here and help me? Right here, bud. Just hold this so that doesn't fall down into there, okay? So we're just going to pour through to make sure there's no big chunkies. It smells delicious. Someday I may even experiment with stopping short of the vinegar stage and doing some hard apple cider. It's kind of thick there. We don't need to pour all that in. There's definitely not a mother, and that's a little sad, but that's okay. It turned into vinegar. Alright, we're going to put this right over this. Ready? Go! Awesome. Okay. Now we're going to pour this into this container here. Probably should use a funnel, but can you stand a little bit to the side, Luke? Thank you. Let's see if we can do this. See how steady my hands are. This apple cider vinegar will be used maybe in some salad dressing. We put a little bit in the dog water sometimes, in the chicken water. There's a lot of things you can use apple cider vinegar for. I'm not going to list them all here, but wow, that made almost 1 container, just a little tiny bit. A shot glass full extra. And that right there is my first batch of homemade apple cider vinegar. I'm really proud of that. Looks nice, huh? Okay, so I'm going to put that in the fridge, and I want to show you the second thing that we have going on in the kitchen, and that'll be right over here on the other side of the island. If you heard a slight hum in the background, some of you may have recognized the sound of an incubator running. Well, that's what we have. We finally purchased our own incubator. We had been borrowing an incubator, to which we're very grateful to our friends, but we decided to go ahead and get our own. And our purpose for this or the inspiration for this was that we had 2 of our small ducks, the Australian spotted ducks, in the same day taken by hawks. So that reduced our flock from 9 to 7, and it left us with only 2 males. And we started getting concerned that we would end up with no males and we would have no ducks and we wouldn't be able to breed until we purchased another male. So we started collecting eggs right away, and we put them in an egg carton, a styrofoam egg carton, and saved them with a pointy end down. And 3, it was an 18-pack, 3 of them had a little bit of water in them, and they were closed and put into a closet. The water helps keep the humidity in that pack, keeps the humidity up so that those eggs don't spoil. And then when our incubator arrived in the mail, we put it together, put those eggs in. I'm going to do a whole video on that. My daughter is demonstrating that. But for now, I just want to show you that we do have an incubator. We have some duck eggs going on, and we're going to end up with, I don't know, 22, 24 Australian spotted ducks. And those will be ready in about 3 weeks. So, that, come here, bud. That right there is a very short episode showing you 2 things that's happening in the Daddy Curbs kitchen. Thrifty Farmer's Wife kitchen at the Daddy Curbs farm. And I just wanted to share that with you. So thanks again for hanging out with me here on the farm. My hand bothering you? By the way, Luke, last night, went to a dance, and for the first time ever, he wore a tie. And we thought he wasn't going to be able to handle the dance. But out of all of us who went, this was a homeschool dance where we just went and spent time with a bunch of homeschool families, and Luke, out of all of us, had the best time. I'll put in a little clip of him dancing, and when we were finished, we came home, and he was so excited. He didn't even want to leave. We couldn't get him to leave the dance, but it was cold. It was 32 degrees and starting to rain. We were a little concerned for weather, so we wanted to get out before it was way too late, and he would not leave. We had to coax him into the car, and when he got into the car, one of his first statements was, "I danced with a girl." And he did. She was a very sweet young girl, and she was very patient with Luke, and she showed him how to dance, and it was a wonderful experience for all of us. So I'll splice that in the end so you can see that. Until next time, thank you for joining me. I'll talk to you soon.
Go.